So therefore one cannot say that his statement was predicated due to anything doing with the fitna that's going on in these days. Because he wrote these words maybe 150, 200 years ago. So it has nothing to do with what is going on today. And yet he has said it is a lie in this religion. Jihad is an unceasing obligatory duty in this religion. Irrespective of we have a Khalifa or not, it is still a duty in our religion. And it will remain such until the Day of Judgment. Unlike these people who say that it is the best jihad to leave jihad. And it's the best preparation of jihad to leave preparation for jihad. And they say the one who goes forward in jihad has received a portion of Allah's wrath. And they say this is a Salafiyah. This is not Salafiyah. This is a lie in Allah's religion. And then they come to the fifth principle they want to talk about. The brothers who wrote this declaration want to talk about. And I really ask the brothers and sisters to pay attention to this principle. And that is adabul khilaf. The conduct to be observed when the scholars differ. How do we act when the scholars differ on a point? Adabul khilaf. They start off with quoting Ibn Qayyim, rahimahullah. May Allah be merciful with him. Ibn Qayyim says that the correct position, in other words, the correct position regarding how should we behave when the scholars differ, is the position which the scholars are themselves upon. That namely in issues of ijtihad, in other words, issues of ijtihad, those issues that have no proof in the Quran or the Sunnah. And then he says in Ibn Qayyim, regarding which there is no evidence. And he gives an example. For example, an authentic hadith that has nothing to oppose it from its class of evidences. What does he mean from its class of evidences? Because the evidences of the Sharia are of different grades. Not every single proof in the Sharia is equal to another proof. But proofs are of different degrees in the Sharia. So he says if the matter is an issue of ijtihad, because there's no evidence in it, like a correct hadith, that has nothing which opposes that correct hadith, from the same class, the same strength of evidences, then which clearly requires us to act in a certain matter, then ijtihad is permissible in these issues. What is Ibn Qayyim trying to say? Let me summarize this for you. Ibn Qayyim is saying that if there is an issue which there is no evidence from the Quran or the Sunnah, and specifically he gives the example of a hadith which there is nothing to oppose that hadith, and there is no hadith which tells us to act in a certain way, then ijtihad is permissible, because we have no evidence in this matter. And then he goes on to saying that the statement of a scholar that this issue is absolute, or that this issue is certitude, and no ijtihad is permitted in it, is an attack against he who opposes it, or attributes to him that which he has willfully sought to go against the true point concerning this. In other words, that when a matter is a matter of ijtihad, no scholar has the right to claim that his opinion is the only opinion, and that to go against it is to go against the truth. So long as the issue does not have an evidence in hadith, does not have an evidence from the Quran or from the ijma', then therefore it's a matter of ijtihad, and no scholar can claim that his opinion is the only opinion, that to go against it is to go against the truth. And then what do the brothers say after quoting this from Ibn Qayyim? They say that those who have differed in issues, these issues of ijtihad, what are they supposed to do when people differ in issues of ijtihad? They are to discuss these issues in a manner of consultation and advice. In a manner of consultation, shura, and advice, nasiha. Not by attacking those who have gone against them in their opinion. It is impermissible to become a blind partisan, a fanatic in these issues, to any specific opinion, or to incite what, as a result of such, leads to hatred and division between the Muslims. This is something very important which we must understand. When there are issues of ijtihad, one must discuss them in a manner of the spirit of consultation and in a spirit of nasiha, advice. And it is impermissible for someone to become fanatical to any opinion when the issue is a matter of ijtihad. And it is impermissible for a person to incite that which leads to hatred and division between the people because of these issues of ijtihad. And then they say, at the same time, that the mujtahid, the one who has done the act of ijtihad, the one who has exercised ijtihad, whether he is mistaken in issues of knowledge or issues of action, whether he has committed an ijtihad in matters of aqidah or matters of fiqh, he is Allah willing excused, according to the principles governing ijtihad. They're trying to clear up a misperception that says that if a scholar makes ijtihad in a matter of aqidah and is mistaken, he's astray. No. But that if he makes ijtihad in a matter of fiqh, it's okay. This is incorrect. To make ijtihad in aqidah, in a matter of knowledge, as they say, or to make ijtihad in a matter of action, or matter of fiqh, is the same. And the mujtahid, the true mujtahid, who is trying to exercise ijtihad according to the principles of ijtihad, and he himself has reached the position to exercise ijtihad, if he errs, if he makes a mistake in a matter of knowledge or a matter of action, he will be excused, inshaAllah ta'ala. And then they say, because, why is this? Because the religion of Islam is both knowledge and deed. You know, this separation of matters of belief from matters of action was done by the Mu'tazila. It was not done by Ahl Sunnah. And so therefore the argument or the idea that many people have, that if you make a mistake in aqidah, you're astray, but if you do not make a mistake in action, if you make a mistake in action, you're never astray, this is incorrect. It's an incorrect characterization. Because the religion of Islam is both knowledge and deed, actions being the intent and aim of knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that only those of His servants who have knowledge fear Him. In other words, the knowledgeable are the ones who fear Him. So this shows that fear is the aim or the intent of knowledge. And then they go on to say, knowledge is the root and foundation for action. This is very important. Please pay attention to it. They say at times it is possible that the one who has made an error in his actions, in his deeds, is of greater sin than the one who has made an error in his knowledge, in his aqidah. Because the mujtahid who has made a mistake in certain matters of knowledge might possess righteous action and also worship of Allah and jihad, and has spread his useful knowledge that surpasses the one who has not erred in these issues and at the same time does not possess his knowledge or his jihad. What does this mean? That sometimes a scholar we're talking about, who makes a mistake in a matter of knowledge, might be better than one who has not made that same mistake in a matter of knowledge, due to the first scholar who had made a mistake out of his ijtihad, having more knowledge, more worship, more jihad, and more da'wah than the second one who has not made that mistake. And then they explain, and it was from this perspective that the scholars have praised the likes of Imam al-Nawawi, Imam Ibn Daqiq al-Eid, Imam Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, and their likes. Indeed, the scholars, the brothers say, loved these men and forbade people to attack them. May Allah be merciful with them all. We all know, or those, I'm sure many of you might know, that Ibn Daqiq al-Eid, Imam al-Nawawi, Imam Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, rahmatullah alayhim, had errors in their aqidah because they had followed certain concepts of the Ash'aris. But yet the scholars of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the true Salafi scholars, forbade anyone from ever attacking them, forbade anybody to speak ill about them, but prayed for them and loved them and have benefited from their books from their time until our time. Why? Because their errors came out of ijtihad, and they possessed knowledge and righteous deed and worship and jihad and da'wah which surpassed all those mistakes. And that is why the scholars prayed for them and asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive them, with the recognition that they made mistakes. So this should clear up the idea that many people have, that it is only a person if he is perfect in aqidah, if he's perfect in every single matter of knowledge, only him is the good person. But anybody else, if he has one single mistake in his aqidah